Hi, this is Total Access, and this is Lennon Stella.
Hi.
Thanks for having us backstage. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
it.
coming.
So, right next door is where you're playing tonight. You've been supporting Anne-Marie.
Yes.
How's that been? What's she
Been
like?
so
Have you
fun.
spent time with her?
Not as much. Honestly, it's been so
Okay.
busy, but little bits and pieces. Yeah, she's so lovely, and it's been so cool to see her show every night. And her whole team is just like so great. And yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and I just kind of came into this not knowing. And it's also very different being over here than, and my only other shows have been in the States and in Canada. So it's a totally different thing, but it's been so great. I've loved it.
What's the difference? Is it the crowd? Is it what's the?
I mean, actually, definitely is the crowd. Like, there's a big difference in the crowd, but also just like I'm not from here, so like I'm not as known over here, so that's a big thing. Also, I'm opening, so there's a big difference when like the people don't come specifically for you. So it's just a totally different thing. But I feel like the crowds in Europe have been like more engaged. Like they're like with the phone lights and like they put their hands in the air. Yeah, they're like very like it just feels like very like really warm and welcoming.
Okay, that's
which
nice.
is nice. Yeah,
and obviously you reference being like you're a big deal in the US, especially because of being in Nashville, right? So what's the deal? You prefer singing? I mean, obviously that was like a touch of acting, but it was a singing route.
Yeah. Definitely, like, music has always kind of been like the ultimate thing for me. It was really cool being a part of the show though, and I definitely like found a love for that, and I would want to in the future end up back in like movies or anything like that. I would love to do, but right now music is definitely like I just want to see what happens if I like put my full energy into that, you know.
Well, that's been kind of your thing from day one, because I remember, not to sound like a stalker, but this is a bit stalkery. So I remember seeing you and your sister do Robin with the
was it like cups, the butter, the butter containers.
And then you were like doing the cup song to it.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that so many years ago. I can't even remember when that was.
That was like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've known about you for a long time.
Crazy, yeah.
And that's now got 30 million views.
Did
you know that?
No, I did not know that.
What was that moment like when you went kind of viral, I guess, with that?
That was it was so weird because prior to that we had literally done nothing. Like genuinely, like just randomly happened. We were just like, I was 12, my sister was 8. We were just like the most, just like normal. Like, I mean, it was just very weird. And then it went viral like overnight, and it literally it was very strange. It also was the reason, so we got the parts for the show for Nashville before that video, but there was this weird long story that I won't even get into, but basically the fact that video went viral got us our visas so that we could be on the show, because we weren't going to be able to be on the show because we're Canadian.
Right.
So you can't work as kids with no prior like anything, like you can't do that, like they wouldn't allow us. So because this video just happened to go viral, it was so crazy, and it just let us be able to be on the show. So it was a weird thing, but it was it was surreal for a lot of reasons. It was really surreal because it was like, what is happening? But then also like, oh my gosh, this is giving us the press that we need so that we can get our visas and be on the show. And yeah, it's crazy.
That's mad. So how did that come about? You're from quite a musical family, aren't you?
Yeah.
So tell me about your parents and what sort of influence they had.
My parents were a duo all growing up, and that was their thing. And I think subconsciously, like that's kind of why Maisie and I just started singing together, because that's all we ever knew was just like singing harmonies and all that. That's what my parents did. So there was that, and then we just from the time the time I was born, they were just touring. So it was just like that was like their life, and it very much just became our lives without really even like deciding. People were like, when did you start playing music? I'm like, there was never like a thing that like where I decided. It just kind of always was what it was. But yeah, I think that's where like we're just so inspired by music and all that, because we're very like surrounded by it.
And what do they think of this? You know, being around the world.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's been so cool because they're super involved, and they haven't been able to come out this trip. My sister did, but they come to like every show they can, and yeah, it's been nice.
What's your sister up to, by the way? Just as a little side note.
She just got went back to public school for a bit, because she was like filming from 8 to like 13, 14. So she kind of missed that like chunk of school. So she went back and went to like high school, and then she's now is doing online school, and she spends a lot of time in LA for auditions for movies and stuff.
Cool.
So she definitely wants to focus on acting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice in a way that you've got your own
Yeah,
thing.
it's really nice.
That's cool.
It's really nice.
And obviously, people will know you from the tune that you did with Liam Payne, Jonas Blue.
Yes.
That's a big deal to be on a like. Do you remember the moment that you were asked to be on that tune, or was it?
Well, it was because Romans, who I wrote with, he actually co-wrote this song, and so I wrote with him like a while back in London actually, and we just really hit it off, and I think that's kind of how my name like got thrown in. And then I ended up coming to London to record vocals with Liam and Jonas. And it was a really cool thing because it was very like, we were all very involved and got to actually do it in person. So
do you have
cool.
a good connection with him on stage as well? What's he like to work with, Liam?
He's awesome. He's really so sweet, and so the word I always use to like describe him is just very nurturing. Like he's really surprisingly nurturing, and was just making sure I was comfortable the whole time, which was really sweet.
Okay. Did he give you any bits of advice? Because obviously he's been through a bit of a whirlwind himself.
Yeah, I mean, he gave me, honestly, the whole time was him giving me advice. Like,
oh, really?
genuinely,
okay.
That was like his role. I think a thing that really stuck with me was there was a lot of people at one point kind of pulling, and just like there was a lot of people telling me what to do, and he just like pulled me to the side. I was like, just remember that, like, regardless of what anyone says, like at the end of the day, like it's you get on the stage and you don't have to listen to anyone. And that stuck with me of just like I'm driving kind of thing. So,
nice.
So yeah,
okay.
It's very sweet.
Have you ever had any ideas that you were like, I'm not sure whether this is a good idea or whether it's going to work, and then you've gone for it and it's been like, yeah, I was totally right to think that?
I mean, there's been a lot of things in my life that I feel like is that, like, even just going solo and doing my own stuff, like that was that exact moment where I was like, is this really, the move? Because everyone kind of knew us together, and so yeah, I mean, and I think that you just kind of got to follow your gut, and if it feels right, then it probably is right, you know.
Nice. And the new music, obviously we can't play this on radio, but we can say it online. Why did you decide to do a single that was Bitch? Like, that makes, as a British person that's like, there are rules for a reason.
Really?
Yeah, because like we can't swear, we can't do anything that anyone might find like, do you know what I mean, contentious.
Interesting.
So were you just like, meh, like,
to be honest with you, I'd never even really considered that.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I don't really even cuss that much, but like to me, that bitch just doesn't even seem like, I don't know. But you're right. I probably should have considered it. But I just thought it was a cool concept that Erin McCarley, who I wrote it with, she kind of came up with this idea of a boyfriend saying to a girlfriend, calling her a bitch, and then her saying, takes a bitch to know a bitch back, and just having it be like a little girl power thing. And I just think it was just a cool concept that I could stand behind, and it was like the first song I ever wrote that wasn't a true story that happened to me, or something I was actually writing from experience. But yeah, I think it's just a cool thing to stand behind. So I like how ballsy the title is. Like, I like that it's called Bitch. I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I was like, that's cool, but I can't play it on the radio.
I know. Yes, La-di-da
is what we're playing. Awesome.
Amazing.
Tell me the story behind it. Tell me the concept. What?
So La-di-da, I actually went on this like writing retreat, like camp thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in Nicaragua. It was amazing.
Does that exist? I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah. People do them all the time, which that was my first one, and I'm doing another one like in a couple months. But it's like, yeah, you just go and like all these writers and a couple artists, and you just go and like a camp, and like every day go in different sessions, and you're like on the beach. It's amazing. It's so great.
I want to go.
So creative and so great.
Yeah.
But it's funny because actually I literally wrote 3 songs. I was there for like 4 days. I wrote 3 songs, and La-di-da and Breakaway both ended up on the EP, like from that trip. It was just so inspiring. But this song, La-di-da, just kind of spiraled out of an argument that I had prior to coming to my little getaway.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just kind of about like getting in an argument with someone, and you end up both just like saying so much that you don't necessarily mean, and it just gets blown way out of proportion, and just kind of skipping that step and just like not listening to the stuff that isn't actually meant is kind of what the song's about.
And how do you know when a concept is something that you want to take to a song? Is it something that, is it sticking in your mind, or do you know what I mean? Like, how do you recognize?
To be honest, I feel like when I go into sessions, it's more so, unless there is like, sometimes there'll be like a concept, But a lot of times it's like just a feeling.
Okay.
And then I go into the session, explain the feeling, and then we turn it into a concept.
Cool.
And then it like just feels right. Like you just like know when it's right. And if it doesn't feel right, then you just keep digging and searching until it does feel right. But most of the time, it's been like more so a feeling and like just like an emotion, and then you go in and then you kind of dig until like a concept comes in.
Cool.
Yes.
An insight.
Yeah.
I want to go to this camp, man.
Yeah, it comes.
So fun.
It's so fun.
Chainsmokers, supporting them.
Yes.
Is that like a big, like, how does that feel? Big
Oh
deal?
yeah. No, big time. It's a pretty crazy one for me. Like that one, I remember I was on the airplane, and my manager was like, it was my sister's birthday too. She was like, oh, by the way, you're opening up for the Chainsmokers in 5 Seconds of Summer. And I started crying in front of everybody. I was like, what is happening? Like that to me is so surreal, because I mean, it's just like, well, one, that's like someone I always listen to the Chainsmokers. Like I just know their music so well. And I like 2 years before, like I went to like this Halloween, like on Halloween I went and saw their show in Nashville. Like I was like legit like a Chainsmokers fan, still am, of course. And it's just very surreal. And then the place that we're playing in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena, is like where I've seen everyone. Like I saw Fleetwood Mac, who's like my all-time. I saw Stevie Nicks on that stage, and I'm going to be playing on the stage. So I can't, like, that to me is just so wild.
Like big tick,
yeah,
life goal.
yeah, it's pretty crazy to me.
What else are you most excited about for next 12 months, would you say?
I'm the most excited about putting together an album and having an album come out like January time is what we're thinking. And I feel like that feeling of having an album in one place that I feel really proud of is going to be something that like just I feel like I'll be able to die happy after that. That's something I just want to do so bad, and I've always just like dreamt of having like a legit like vinyl of like just it's just so important to me. So I think that is something that nothing else will even really compare to.
Yeah, right. Have you had this thing that like the first album is actually the easiest to write? Have you had that theory? Because it's your whole life.
I could see
album.
that. Yeah, for sure. I haven't like struggled to write yet.
Okay.
I still feel very inspired and like very like I feel like as of now I just have more to get out. That's why we haven't made it yet, is because I feel like I haven't got it all out of my system. So yeah, I can totally, I haven't struggled, or I can see this being the easiest for sure.
Nice. And just before I let you go, your tattoos, you were talking about getting more tattoos.
I want more tattoos. I love tattoos. I do like, all mine as of now are like little words, like very dainty, like smaller ones. So I'm going to go, and I'm not going to say what it is yet, because I kind of want to wait, because I don't want people to be like, don't get that.
Yeah, I'm scared.
No. But
like,
I know
it's
I'm
be
getting,
big, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be a little bit big. Bigger than my other ones. Like literally my other ones are like little tiny little. So I'm going to get like an actual like piece.
Okay.
So we'll see. Do you have tattoos?
No, not at all. I'm too scared.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always. I'm like, so I got married last year. We went on holiday recently. I've got this like weird tan line, and I'm already like, well, that feels a bit permanent. Do you know what I mean? At least I can take the ring off. Do you know what I mean? That's a joke. That was a joke. My wife is watching. I'm in trouble.
Like, I can take the ring off.
We'll wrap it up there, shall we? Because
oh my gosh,
that is just so embarrassing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And have a great gig tonight.
Thank you.